During the Gemini 4 mission in June 1965, Brigadier General James McDivitt, who served in the United States Air Force, led the team as the commander. Aside from this notable assignment, he had been involved in various other missions as well. It was on this specific space journey that McDivitt encountered a remarkable sighting, leading him to express his experience in the following manner. The object in question possessed a clear and distinct form, resembling a cylindrical structure. It was predominantly white in color and featured an elongated appendage protruding from its side. This appendage, comparable to that of a beer can or a soda can, extended outward in a manner similar to a pencil or similar slender object. McDivitt had a strong suspicion that the object he observed was in close proximity to the spacecraft, yet he couldn't help but feel a sense of confusion. He said that he was faced with a perplexing situation where he couldn't ascertain whether the object before him was a tiny entity seen from up close or a colossal entity visible from a considerable distance. Unfortunately, there were no reference points or indicators to guide his judgment. Consequently, he found himself in a state of uncertainty regarding the actual size of the object. During that moment on the spacecraft, he said that there were 2 cameras that were floating in weightlessness. Sensing the urgency, he swiftly seized one camera and skillfully captured an image of the mysterious object that had caught their attention. Expanding on his proactive approach, he hastily secured the second camera and documented the scene, ensuring that they had a comprehensive record of the encounter. Fueled by a mix of curiosity and concern, he promptly activated the rocket control systems for fear that a collision might ensue. The gravity of the situation pushed him to take swift action. During that moment in time, they found ourselves adrift, unsure of our direction, without the means to verify which way we were heading. Nevertheless, as they continued to drift further, a subtle shift occurred. The warm rays of the sun embraced the spacecraft, delicately illuminating the window and casting a gentle glow within. Upon examining the spacecraft's windshield, he noticed that it was excessively dirty, hindering visibility just as a dirty automobile windshield would. Consequently, he made the decision to reactivate the rocket control engines, allowing him to maneuver the spacecraft and position the window in darkness once more. As a result of this action, the object that was previously observed had vanished entirely. Some individuals may opt for a conventional explanation, while others may assert that this constitutes compelling evidence of extraterrestrial existence. James McDivitt isn't the only astronaut to have a strange encounter. One of those most influential American heroes of the 1950s, as well as the key figure in helping to locate a number of nuclear sites all around the world, was that of Major Gordon Cooper. Gordon Cooper has been a part of a number of top-secret missions in space, with several revolving around the use of highly advanced technologies to locate locations of interest all around the world. Interestingly enough, during one of his many space missions, he had claimed to have come into contact with an extraterrestrial craft. During Gordon Cooper's space mission that included a solo journey with a planned 22-orbit trip around the Earth, he claimed to have seen a glowing object that appeared to be a bright green begin to slowly approach his spacecraft as he viewed it through a porthole. Additionally, the approach of the object was also picked up by the Muchea tracking station, located in the town of Muchea in Australia, confirming Cooper's encounter. This would lead to the astronaut eventually agreeing to take a 2-day mission, in which he would work to analyze footage and evidence of extraterrestrial visitation of the planet that would eventually lead to him giving a speech at the United Nations to discuss his findings. During his speech, he described later coming across evidence of extraterrestrial craft, gathered evidence of anomalous aircraft, as well as stating the following: "I saw with my own eyes a defined area of ground being consumed by flames, with 4 indentations left by a flying object which had descended in the middle of a field. Beings had left the craft. There were other traces to prove this. They seemed to have studied topography. They had collected soil samples, and eventually they returned to where they had come from, disappearing at enormous speed." End quote. Gordon Cooper would later go on to be a key figure in the awareness movement, and claimed that his findings and studies were being covered up by the United States government under the claim that he was a national security threat for inciting panic, despite his many years working for the government and assisting with efforts during the Cold War. As mentioned, numerous astronauts from NASA have openly expressed their convictions regarding unidentified flying objects, their sources, and the existence of extraterrestrial life. Throughout his life until his passing in 2004, Cooper remained steadfast in his willingness to voice his views. His commitment to unveiling what he firmly believed was a deliberate plot to conceal crucial evidence and withhold information never wavered. It is noteworthy that the ongoing disclosure projects worldwide owe a considerable debt to Cooper's active participation and valuable contributions. By embracing his insightful perspectives, these initiatives have been able to expand their reach and advance their objectives in shedding light on hidden truths. To merely label Cooper as a reliable witness would be a gross understatement, as his extensive background as a test pilot and a NASA astronaut speaks volumes about his credibility. His noteworthy experiences and accomplishments in these roles testify to his aptitude and expertise. Given his background and experience in both the military and NASA, it is essential to approach his assertions regarding the existence of extraterrestrial life and clandestine government projects with a greater sense of gravity. This individual has not only occupied influential positions within these institutions, but has also collaborated closely with intelligence agencies worldwide, most notably the CIA. Moreover, his extensive involvement with Lockheed Skunk Works, known for its pivotal role in secretive black budget initiatives, further reinforces the significance of his claims. The depth of his involvement in these organizations and his intimate knowledge of their inner workings warrant serious consideration of his statements. By expanding our understanding of his background and the covert programs to which he has been exposed, we gain a comprehensive perspective that sheds light on the magnitude and implications of his revelations. It is crucial that we approach this individual's assertions with an open mind, recognizing that his experiences and connections provide unique insights into the realm of classified operations and potential contact with extraterrestrial life. When considering the statements made by an accomplished figure like Gordon Cooper, it is important to question the motives of others who may be seeking attention or financial gain. It is only natural to wonder why someone who is widely regarded as being at the top of their profession would fabricate such extraordinary incidents. The depth of Cooper's expertise and experience suggests that he possesses unique insights into the inner workings of highly secretive environments. By delving deeper into this matter, we can gain a more comprehensive understanding of the potential reasons behind Cooper's claims and the implications they hold. Gordon Cooper, a highly acclaimed astronaut affiliated with NASA, has garnered numerous accolades for his extraordinary achievements. A testament to his prowess, he has accumulated an impressive record of spending an astounding 222 hours in the expanses of outer space. His list of accomplishments is both extensive and awe-inspiring. Notably, Cooper holds the distinction of being the first American astronaut to experience sleep in the unique environment of space. Additionally, his name is etched in history as the aviator who completed the longest recorded flight among the Mercury programs. Furthermore, Cooper's remarkable legacy includes the distinction of being the final American astronaut to embark on a solo mission that encompassed an entire orbit of the Earth. Through his exceptional feats and unwavering dedication, Cooper has solidified his place among the pioneers of space exploration. Despite having extensive experience working with NASA, Cooper's encounters with unidentified flying objects occurred exclusively during his tenure as a test pilot. One notable incident took place in 1951 when Cooper was stationed at a United States airbase in Germany as part of a project. While residing there, he witnessed peculiar aerial crafts traversing the skies, leaving him with a sense of astonishment and intrigue. This unique first-hand experience added depth to Cooper's already remarkable background and fueled his curiosity about the existence of extraterrestrial phenomena. During a series of consecutive nights, peculiar and futuristic-looking aircraft with a distinctive metallic, saucer-shaped design would manifest in the skies. Cooper, a seasoned observer of such phenomena, firmly believed that these crafts were not only controlled by intelligent beings, but also harbored doubts regarding their origin, suspecting that they did not originate from Earth. His extensive experience in encountering similar occurrences played a significant role in shaping his conviction. These unexplained aerial sightings left Cooper convinced that these unconventional vehicles were under the control of entities with advanced capabilities. One of his most widely recognized and extensively documented encounters occurred in 1957 within the state of California. During the extensive preparations for the upcoming rocket launch tests, scheduled for the 3rd of May in the year 1957, Cooper and his dedicated team were startled when an unidentified flying object descended and touched down at Edwards Air Force Base, located in the state of California. At a distance of around 50 yards from Cooper's team, there was a peculiar craft in the shape of a saucer that remained suspended in the air. Gradually, it started descending towards the ground. What was interesting about this craft were the 3 extensions resembling legs that protruded from its underside, aiding its gentle landing on the surface. After a brief period of time, the individuals comprising Cooper's team gradually approached this peculiar entity. As they advanced, it effortlessly floated upwards, soaring to great heights above them until it vanished from view. Throughout this astonishing spectacle, absolute silence emanated from the vessel, leaving the team perplexed and captivated by the enigmatic nature of the encounter. In accordance with the established procedures for handling such unusual sightings, Cooper carefully prepared the film, ensuring its preservation and integrity before dispatching it to the Pentagon, the designated authority for analysis and investigation. However, to his dismay, the film never found its way back into Cooper's possession. The below video showcases Cooper discussing the events that unfolded both in Germany and California. In the year 1978, Cooper took the initiative to address the United Nations in the form of an open letter, earnestly imploring them to disclose essential information to the general public. Additionally, he fervently advocated for the initiation of a dedicated undertaking aimed at establishing communication with extraterrestrial beings. Cooper emphasized his conviction that individuals from other planets were paying us visits beyond Earth's boundaries, indicating their highly developed technological capabilities surpassing ours. This notion supports the necessity for a well-orchestrated and highly coordinated initiative at the highest level to be set into motion. In his statement, he emphasized the importance of conducting scientific analysis on UFO encounters that have been reported worldwide. The objective behind this analysis is to enable humans to determine the most appropriate and amicable approach to interacting with these visitors. According to the given information, they emphasize the importance of humanity, demonstrating its capability to resolve conflicts through peaceful means instead of resorting to warfare. This requirement, highlighted by the speaker, is intriguingly reminiscent of the stance adopted by former Canadian Defence Minister Paul Hellyer. Notably, Hellyer, who holds one of the highest positions in the Canadian government, has publicly acknowledged the presence of extraterrestrial beings visiting our planet. This connection between the speaker's statement and Hellyer's perspective adds further depth and significance to the notion that humanity must showcase its ability to peacefully tackle challenges in order to be recognized as fully qualified members of the universal community. In his discourse, he proceeds to share his personal encounters with unidentified flying objects. Subsequently, he asserts that a majority of astronauts are exceedingly hesitant to broach the subject of UFOs, primarily due to the apprehension of individuals exploiting their names to promote fabricated UFO narratives. Cooper contends that those who do dare to speak out on the matter do so with great caution, fully aware of the potential consequences and skepticism that may arise. Cooper's fundamental request to the United Nations revolves around the idea that their endorsement of this particular project would serve as a catalyst for attracting and engaging the brilliant individuals necessary for its success. The aim is to encourage these individuals to step forward and contribute their expertise in a field that they might otherwise avoid due to the risk of public ridicule or potential reductions in their financial support. By putting their name behind the project, the UN can create an environment that empowers intellectuals to participate, fostering an inclusive and supportive atmosphere that overrides concerns of mockery or funding cuts. Following his formal request to the United Nations in 1978, Gordon Cooper proceeded to divulge an extensive amount of valuable insights and data. Cooper delved into the topic of information concealment by NASA and various government agencies, bringing attention to the veil of secrecy surrounding certain matters. With persistent determination, he advocated for the disclosure of this concealed information, actively immersing himself in projects aimed at revealing the truth about UFOs. Many people have attributed claims of extraterrestrial presence on Earth to him. According to his statements, he personally witnessed the arrival of an alien being while present at a military base. Moreover, he consistently suggested that the possibility of back-engineering alien technology was highly plausible. These hints encouraged individuals to interpret his words beyond their literal meaning, leading many to believe that there was more to the story. This speculation continues to persist among a significant number of people. In the following interview, Cooper provides a detailed discussion about the idea to withhold valuable information from the general public. Although this interview took place some time ago, it covers a wide range of fascinating topics. It is a highly engaging and thought-provoking conversation with an individual who possesses a unique perspective. Mount Shasta is considered a supernatural hotspot. One of the most peculiar claims in recent years seems to center around one of the largest mountains of California, known as Mount Shasta. From bizarre encounters with Sasquatch-like creatures, to bat-like humanoids, and to strange lights hovering over the mountain's slope, it appears that the area seems to be rife with mysterious activity. Back in 2019, researchers in the paranormal and supernatural began to classify Mount Shasta and the surrounding regions as a hotspot of impossible-to-explain supernatural activity. The reason for this sudden classification and interest from supernatural researchers came after a series of strange lights were spotted back in 2019, continuing into the modern day. According to the original sighting, on the 17th of April back in 2019, a native resident of the Mount Shasta region was journeying through the national park with his family and children when he noticed a bright light near the side of the mountain's slope, slightly above the ridgeline, sometime in the late evening. Unsure of what he was looking at, the man then got another family member to come look at the light to make sure that the strange glowing object wasn't a fire or a star. As the two men continued staring at the glowing light, however, they soon noticed what they described as a cigar-shaped glowing object directly underneath the bright light that appeared to have been connected to the light in some unknown way. Shortly after spotting the second object, the two men began taking a series of pictures of the strange objects before the star-like object suddenly flew away, leaving behind a white, brightly lit trail of light behind it. Even more interesting, even though they did not see the cigar-shaped object fly off in the same direction as the peculiarly bright star-like object, it appeared to have suddenly disappeared from the area as well. Even more interesting, however, legends of a bat-like humanoid entity residing within the intricate cave systems of Mount Shasta have been a staple of the local folklore since the early 1990s, with one of the most recent sightings having been reported within a couple of weeks after the 2019 lights were spotted. The eyewitness report of the bat-like humanoid creature was posted onto an online forum talking about winged humanoid creatures seen around the world. According to the writer of the post, as he and some of his friends were swimming in a small lake located at the base of the mountain, they noticed what they described as a bizarre cluster of mist floating roughly 3 to 4 feet above the ground, stationary. The witness's girlfriend at the time felt very creeped out by the cloud of mist, claiming that it was extremely unnatural and gave her a bad feeling. In some UFO literature, it is believed that unidentified flying objects can camouflage themselves by forming an artificial cloud around their craft. Shortly after, the group of friends returned to the lake for a midnight swim when they heard loud crashing and snapping, as if a large creature was in a nearby tree line. Though the other friends were looking in different directions, they could all confirm they heard the noise. The witness, however, claimed that he had seen large glowing yellow eyes at the top of a tree line staring at them that were far larger than any known animals. Believing that the source of the noise was some wild creature in the area that was most likely scared away by them, the friends resumed swimming in the lake, enjoying the water for another hour before encountering the bizarre creature. According to the witnesses, the creature appeared to have leaped from a nearby tree line and flew overhead. The outline of the creature was easily visible, showing large black bat-like wings as it flew roughly 20 feet overhead. The many different sightings of bat-like humanoid creatures are not the only strange supernatural occurrences in the area, however, as sightings of Bigfoot or Sasquatch-like creatures have been reported in the area since the national park formed. The earliest reference to giant humanoid creatures living in the region comes from early Native American legends of a creature referred to as the Shupchets. Although the legends were not written down until around the spring of 1953, when nearby university professors interviewed Native American tribes from the region, The stories told remarkably similar descriptions of the local residents' claims of Sasquatch-like creatures dwelling within the mountains. According to these early Native American legends, a race of giants referred to as the Shupchets were believed to have lived alongside the banks and source of the Flume Creek and were claimed to use secret underground passes and cave systems to reach the top of Mount Shasta. Sasquatch legends would reach their popularity in the area back in 1962, when a woman who had been camping out near the base of the mountain claimed to have stumbled across a hidden area created by the Bigfoot people. In her bizarre claims, she described hiking around the mountain and finding what looked like primitive tents and makeshift huts from leaves, branches, and stripped bark. Within an area of tall, bundled grasses, the woman watched as a large Sasquatch creature appeared to give birth to a small, monkey-like creature. Unable to move, the pregnant Sasquatch woman watched the hiker, and once the birth was over, the hiker ran from the area as the pregnant Sasquatch immediately began moving as if it were going to attack. Since this report, hundreds of sightings of Sasquatch encounters have been reported by local residents and distant travelers visiting the site, leading many cryptid researchers to believe that perhaps the entire region and surrounding forests are a supernatural hotspot, similar to other places in the world such as the Skinwalker Ranch. So, what do you make of these mysteries? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comments section below and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.